Another day in the fish room. We're going to be setting up some fish to breed. We'll be making a special trip about an hour and a half away to pick up some new fish, and we'll see what else we get into. I think it's time to start finally breeding these Blue Daisies rice fish again. If you've been following for a while, you know that my original group of 12 ended up being 10 males and 2 females. So now I see some of the fry that I originally bred have grown up, started carrying eggs. Some of the females did. The males have the nice blue color to them. You see the larger ones are the original males, and some smaller ones starting to sex out, getting a nice blue as well. But definitely have a lot of females, and I'm going to split them up actually into 2 tanks just because I have them available, and these are one of my favorite fish, so I've been trying to breed a lot of them. Got the ones I selected to breed moved over. I did all young ones on the left side, and I did 2 of my best breeder males from the original batch on the right side with some females. So hopefully we get a lot of fry from the 2 batches there. We've got a ton of the Miyuki Medaka rice fish here, feeding on some live baby brine. And we've got the Peruvian Ultim angelfish that are probably going to be moved today out of their quarantine setup. I was lucky that these guys didn't start getting aggressive with each other in this 10-gallon, but this was just temporary for them in quarantine, but they all look good, so I'm going to move them over to a 20 and then let them grow up in there, and then they'll probably be in a 75. We got a nice sized colony here of the Panda Guppies. See, we got 2 nice males there, nice long dorsal, and the females look really good too. We've got some big ones in this bag, and a whole drop of fry in this bag that these guys might have to go in a separate tank, just because I'm pretty sure these giant females will eat them. A huge thank you to Lisa, who allowed me to stop by and pick these guys up. She had the coolest pond setup right on her porch with a ton of guppies. She was working with these guys. They look really good. I'm really happy with them, and I'm going to continue to work with them. These originally, she got them from Lucas Brett's, so these are his line of Panda Guppies. The males look incredible, but what's really nice about this line is it looks like the females have the nice long top dorsal fin. So they're really pretty. These guys have only been in the tank for a couple minutes right now, so I could already tell their females are starting to darken up, and these males look really good. We have the fry up top here, and they'll stay separate until they're big enough to not get eaten. These guys will stay in this quarantine tank, 10-gallon, just for a little bit. They look really healthy, and it's not like these fish were shipped, and Lisa was taking really good care of them, so I'm confident that, you know, that they're healthy, and the tank that they move into, they'll be the only fish in there anyway. And I can't decide whether to put these guys in an eye-level tank or a top-down view tank, because these guys were in a pond setup and they looked really good, the top-down view, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Checking in on these guys. They've been in here for about a day now, and the females are really darkening up. They look really good. I see a lot of people with Panda Guppies where the females are just kind of like a silver color, just plain looking, but these guys have a nice long dorsal fin and the dark body. So I'm really excited to work with these and super thankful that I did get these. I just love this community. YouTube's been great, chatting with you guys in the comments or on my Facebook page or Instagram. I never thought I'd be able to connect with so many people, and the community is just so welcoming. Thank you guys so much. And I think the last thing I'm going to do today is move some of the angelfish that I thought would be okay in a 20-gallon just to grow up a little bit more. I thought they'd be okay because I have the group of super red koi angelfish here that have been doing all right in this 20-gallon growing up. I'm waiting for a pair to form, or I could maybe take some guesses at which ones are pairs. But these guys, the blue marble angelfish, I actually lost 2 of them during the quarantine process. You can see this one right up front is like the main bully, and it's got all the other ones pushed back, hiding. So I think that's not going to work long term. I think it's going to cause stress on these guys. So I think I'm going to move them to the 75 with the new Peruvian Ultim Angelfish that we had unboxed in a previous video. Let me show you the tank that they're going to go in. This is the 75 I want to have all the angelfish in. Right now it has 2 koi angelfish from a different line. This is a line that I've had for years now, and these are the only 2 I have left of that line. These aren't red, these are more just regular koi with the white in them. We've got some random rainbows in here that I'm going to move to the other 75. And we've also got 2 adult Peruvian Ultim Angelfish, which they're hiding in the back, but they are beautiful. They kind of, once I saw them grow up fully, they made it that I wanted to order more and get some pairs going, because the 2 I have now, they get along, but they're not, I don't think they're a pair. So first I have to catch the guys out of these tanks. The rainbows are going to go in that 75 temporarily. These angelfish are actually going to go into a different 75 that's outside the fishing right now. But to do that, I need to clean that other 75 first. So this would be a couple step project, but I think it'll be worth it. This is the original 75 we had in the fish room that's outside the fish room now. We moved it so that we could put another rack in. You can see that I kind of just left this tank, let the algae grow on the sides. Not many fish in here because I thought that these 2 angelfish and the Siamese algae eater would go into the 75 with the angelfish now, but since I ordered more angelfish and need more room, I think I'm going to have 2 75 gallons with the angelfish. I think the adults that I have now are going to go in here with the other Philippine blues that I have that aren't a pair right now. And I think they'll all live in here nice. I have to fertilize this tank more. You can see that the dwarf sedge kind of, you know, it was a beautiful carpet at one point, but not fertilizing as often, not feeding as often because there's not as many fish. Took its toll on the carpet. So we'll clean this tank up and then we can start moving fish. We've got the angelfish moved into the 75 gallon. It's 9 of the Ultim angelfish, and I did move 4 of the blue marble angelfish in here. You can see one on the bottom right there. Unfortunately, we did lose another one, so we're down to 3. I'm not sure what's wrong with the blue marbles, if they're less hardy or they got something going on. They were quarantined for almost 3 weeks before I moved them in here, and I moved them in here and I lost another one. At first I thought it was aggression because they were fighting in the 20 gallon, so I quickly moved them to the 75. Everyone's getting along now. I'll throw some food in so we can get a better look at them. Some frozen brine shrimp there. So I'm hoping that these guys grow out and pair off. The blue marbles, smaller chance of that happening now that we're down to 3. I started out with 7. Probably should have got more. Maybe I'll source from another supplier and I'll like that supplier better. And you can see this group of Ultims, that one right there it looks like a Philippine blue to me. I don't know if that was an accident at the wholesaler or if that specific Peruvian Ultim is more blue, but if I were to just look at that fish, I would call it a Philippine blue. But pretty interesting. If anything, we have 8 Peruvian Ultims. They probably won't breed that one. I think the plan with this tank is just to add a couple more angelfish. We do have some in quarantine. The platinum pearl scale angelfish that we have in this tank. I think I'm going to put more size on these guys before I move them to that tank. Those angelfish are just a little bit bigger. And then we might throw the super red koi angelfish in there, the ones that don't pair off. Or we might put them in the other 75. I'll show you in a minute. Not sure yet. And here's the other 75 all cleaned up. You can see we have the 2 koi angelfish, We finally have a good look at the Peruvian Ultim angelfish. These two were wild caught. That's how I bought them. The others were captive bred from the other tank. So you can see that they get nice. They get really nice when they're bigger. Hoping to breed those. And then my other two Philippine blues. And I'm gonna fertilize this tank again some more and pay attention to it. I kind of just let it go because I thought I was getting rid of this tank completely. So the dwarf sedge, needs some work. The jungle val was doing good. And this random high grow I just added, and I'm gonna fertilize it and make sure it grows out. That was another day in the fish room. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you in the next one.